All right, Shalom Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, glory, and fear to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rahakodash. Also, I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, who I learned this truth from, and peace and salutations to the Lord's hopeful elect. All right, back at it to prophesy the downfall of this wicked kingdom, Babylon the Great, so-called USA, and the salvation of the Lord's hopeful elect, man. And it was just on my spirit because I saw this video. I guess I'll play it. Concerning children and the youth, and another reason why the Lord has to destroy this place, man. So I'll play it right quick.
Black kids today.
Hey, sit out here.
What's up?
We gonna pop their ass. We gonna pop their ass.
What y'all gonna do?
That's the one gonna pop their ass. We gonna have milk to their ass. We got ox right here. We got real ox. We got ox around here.
Y'all got
We got real ox.
You got off
We got real ox. We got real ox. Before I blow, I'm gonna blow.
before you what?
Before I leave, I gotta blow all these niggas.
I'm gonna pray for you. You hear me, my boy?
Pray.
Dude said, pray. Wow. So you see what's going on, man, through the spirit of Payah by Shema Shah. It's a lot to like dissect here, man. First of all, the dude with the glasses, that he a goofball. The kids though, man. Let me be fair, okay? When you're a child, you imitate life, you imitate your environment, society. I did this when I was young to a certain degree, man. I remember watching the movie Original Gangsters. I'm a late 80s baby. Y'all know what I mean? You know, if you know, you know. Original Gangster. What was that dude? Jim Brown? I think he in it. And after that movie, me and my little cousin, we picked up our little play water guns and we mimicked everything that we saw in that movie. So it's understandable for kids to mimic what they see. The issue is, however, everything that they see is wicked. And I mean, it's like, is this where is it like, it's so much to do as a kid. I don't know. I mean, it's already like a shocker to see kids outside versus just being on their phone. And this is what they come outside doing, imitating life, man. Imitating society, imitating their environment. And it's a lot worse nowadays. This has to be the worst time in history because of what? The internet, the cell phones. Back in the 90s, and I was a kid in the 90s, man. We didn't have all this stuff. So in order to see shit, you could only see it a few ways in real life or just a certain ways on TV at certain times. Hell, let's even look at something like, it's wicked, but pornography, right? Back in the day used to have these big ass tapes, and then it went from the big ass tapes to little DVDs. All right, and then it went from DVDs to the point now our children have access to it, man. And there ain't no motherfucking parental guidance that can stop these kids from looking at whatever they want to look at, man. But hey, it wasn't like that growing up. But you see, these kids have this liberty, just like the women have all this liberty, and a lot of that liberty that they get to see this wickedness it's spearheaded with this damn social media and these cell phones, man. So again, these kids, they're waking up and all they're seeing on the internet is a bunch of bullshit. They don't have no wisdom, knowledge, or understanding to even desire to want to see anything their children, whatever's in front of them immediately, that's what they're gonna gravitate towards. You could bet your bottom dollar they're probably, look at them, they look raggedy, no offense. They look a little worse than just playing outside. They ain't just from playing outside, they look unkept, no offense, can barely speak English, can barely speak the white man's English. All right, just talking about unaliving, man. And that's the spirit. And you have to remember a reincarnation. I was thinking about that right before I did the video, man. These could be, wicked Jake just back on the earth in that same lot of that perpetual hatred, that gang banging, all that unaliving stuff, man. They just come back. So the people that grew up in Chicago, Compton, all that stuff, they're probably descendants of all those Israelites that said, let the Lord blood be upon them, or either those actual people back on the earth now, if you can receive reincarnation, man. And I was just thinking about that. That was just a little side point. But the whole point being, imagine the earth if the Lord didn't shorten time, if he didn't cut the days short. Like 30 years from now, what if this dude had children? Come on, man. I couldn't even imagine it, how weird the youth are, how they move nowadays, how violent it is. I'm not even sure the earth would last, that long. So This is another reason why the Lord has to destroy this place, man. And it's I bring this out in Wisdom of Solomon, verse 4. Better is it to have no children and to have virtue. Wow. And aren't we supposed to like be fruitful and multiply? Yeah. But that was the original plan, you see. When the Lord gave us the law, statutes, and commandments, and gave us that covenant, and we broke it, things changed, man. Now we're in captivity. Now it's better to have no children. Okay, if we would have obeyed Yahweh Shema Hawashai, we could have been fruitful and multiply beyond your wildest imaginations. Now we're punished beyond the world's wildest imaginations, and you see those children is a manifestation of it. All right, the curses and the punishments that the Lord put upon the Israelites, that'll be you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Let's go down to verse 6. For children begotten of unlawful beds are witnesses of wickedness against their parents and their child. That's exactly what I was going into with the reincarnation, man. Most of these children coming out manifested now are coming out of unlawful unions, man. Adultery, yeah, I mean that's like the biggest thing, just all type of sexual immorality mixed all up in that, but definitely the height of adultery, and then on top of adultery, just the sins that Israelite has in that damn dwelling place of theirs, man. All the law, statutes, and commandments that they never keep. Okay, it's all contributing to these children being that way. All right, so these are children begotten of unlawful beds, and they are now witnessing of the wickedness of their parents. All right, the same damn Israelites that's from the that other house. All right, the other side, the wicked children of the nation of Israel, the 2/3, that's them, man. And these are their children and their children's children, man. That's why you see certain Israelite families, and it seems like a black cloud just over them. You know what I mean? They have generations of women on welfare, or generations of prostitutes. All right, generations of gangbangers, man. Seriously, man, there's generations of Jake that has the son and the father in prison together, man. You know what I'm saying? Look at the Pooh Shiesty situation, right? His father was involved in it. Just all wickedness, man. But this is another reason why the Lord is ultimately going to destroy this place, and a lot of children will be caught up in that, because Eve is popping out children left and right. Ain't no real deal lawful unions going on, but all these kids are popping up out of nowhere, I guess, man. So we're just in a huge state of confusion, and the Lord just ultimately has to just reset this place, man. Just do away with it, man. All right. But again, the scriptures, Wisdom of Solomon, and back at verse 1, 4 and 1, better is it to have no children and to have virtue. So it's better to serve Yahweh Shema Hawashai than it is to have children. That means, whatever come with a children, a wife, you got to have a woman to do that. Sometimes. And we teach these things through the Spirit, man. You may not, or the Lord may not give you a woman just yet, man. Now, when that Isaiah 4 and 1 come into play, it's going to be a different story. But for right now, it's better to maybe for certain brothers not deal with a woman. It could throw you off. The woman is wicked. She come with a lot of baggage. And boy, listen to all the your Archium, if y'all brothers don't have children that do. I'm one of them. I have a child. My child is currently being cursed out by me, all right, for a whole bunch of shit. You know what I mean? And I want to say this about putting curses out on people. Let me tell you something. We couldn't put a curse. We're just manifesting the will of the Lord. We're not cursing anybody. We couldn't. It's the will of the Lord, man. So when a person, ultimately what's happening, when you put up a curse sincerely through the Spirit, it's the will of the Lord, man. What'll happen is that person is going to offend you in the time frame that the Lord was going to judge them anyway. So it's going to strengthen your faith. It's going to happen. But ultimately, you didn't put no damn curse out on nobody, man. You know what I mean? It was ultimately the Lord. Now he's going to deal with you operator level if you're, a prophet or a man on this side, and he's going to let you deal through the Spirit with these certain situations in certain ways, so you can call upon him, have that faith, so you can put up that curse and you can see cause and effect. Yeah, my child is going through it now. Oh, the old bearing false witness is one of them. Yeah, bearing false witness on me, and I can't get to her. So, I ask the Lord to, correct her. And especially because I can't correct her, and especially because she gonna hang up on me and not even like, we could have maybe got somewhere till you hung up on me, D. Again, now I'm finna stack all this stuff on top because I've been cool on you, right? Been patient, merciful, loving, but since you won't let me, correct you, I'm gonna take it to the Father Himself, or Yahweh Shah. All right. And we're gonna deal with it accordingly, man. But these children are off the chain, man. And the Lord taught us that, man. Disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy. All these were characteristics that will befall the people in the last days, man. And the children are witnessing the world in a state of wickedness, man. Look at the women. All they see, that's kind of what we got into it for. My daughter got, look, man. I mean, and it's not because of these specific things. It's a lot of shit she's been doing year by year by year. But my daughter asked me for the old septum ring. What'd you think I told her? I hit her with the no. I did. I mean, being merciful. I told her maybe she could get one in the side. They're kind of cute or whatever. You know how that go, in the side of her nose. She went on ahead and got the septum ring. And, I called her to address it, and I got hung up on. And then it was just a whole bunch of stuff that was coming out after that. But you see, that damn septum ring, they're just imitating what they see. The shit ugly. I told her it looked like a booger hanging out of your nose. Why are you doing this? You know what I mean? I thought you were so much flyer than this. They're the weaker of the weaker vessel, especially a female child. You know what I mean? That's the ultimate level of weakness, man. You know what I mean? So she's susceptible to all these things. She's susceptible to what she sees in society, just like those dudes are, man. It isn't necessarily their fault. Now, I did, through the Spirit, deal with it on a higher level in relation to reincarnation. Okay, but carnally, it ain't all their fault. It's society's fault. It's their household. It's the mother, and probably the lack of father thereof. Why these kids are the way that they are. They're not being brought up right. They're not being taught fear of the Lord. And I mean, they're not even being taught any level of decency, let alone the fear of Yahweh Shema Shah. Let me bring that out. Matter of fact, this is the book of Proverbs 22 and verse 6. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. And what we see now with the YNs is a bunch of children that weren't trained up the right way. Some of them were. Let's not get it twisted, because that's always this whole fucking let's blame parents. When you're wise enough to know some kids are, their parents will tell you not to do it, and these kids are like, come on, man. It could be something kind of low level, like it's disobedient, but just like I told you not to wear that to school. I mean, we seen that on an episode of the Cosbys, right? Who did that? Was it Rudy? Yeah, man, that was on an episode of the Cosby. Rudy. Oh, I think she wore something. Was it makeup? Well, it must have been the makeup, bro. It was the makeup. Told her not to wear the makeup, right? And then she linked up with her homegirls at school and put on that makeup, man. But these kids gonna do what they want to do anyway, so you can't necessarily blame the parents. And Claire was a great parent. Rudy did what the hell she wanted to do anyway. You see what I'm saying? So I said all that to say you can't always blame the damn parents. But the scriptures is telling us, hey man, train up a child in the way he should go, which is righteousness, which first and foremost fearing the Lord. And then we teach our customs, men, whatever it is, through the Spirit. They ain't always got to be like specifically stuff out of the Bible, but just hey, let's not be out there acting like thugs. Hey, put some clothes on when you leave the house, shit like that. Just basic decency. And that's like a big thing with the girls, man. Like, you tell them, like, put some damn clothes on. I dealt with that. Like, we finna go to the movie theaters with my daughter. She come out with the Daisy Duke song, Quick Fix. Go change your clothes. See how easy that is? You know what I mean? And she'll learn from that, and you teach your daughter, these things. Why I want you to put on some clothes. And she was glad because it got cold. You see what I'm saying? You was finna come, what was you thinking? But that's not happening now, is it? A huge reason, especially more so the generations coming up, man. Now we've all had these broken households, man, especially from like the 60s, I go with like the 70s on up for sure. When, hey man, Jay got on that soul music, that fro, you know what I mean? That Jerry Curl. got that record playing, that Heron, that Colt 45. I don't know, was it in the 70s? When did Colt 45 come out, man? But you know how Jake was doing it, my grandma generation, kicking it, ain't fearing the Lord at all, don't know nothing close to it. You know what I mean? So they just kicking it. Therefore, ain't nobody fearing the Lord. We grew up believing in white Jeebus, so we listen to the lack of fear of a God, man. So everybody just doing whatever they want to, and now we see the consequences of that. Now we see our young men unaliving and bragging about it in songs. Now we see our young women shaking their booty all over planet Earth, man. Everywhere they can go, they're butt naked, just wilding out, fighting. They're not dainty, not ladylike. Ain't nobody married in this bitch. You know what I'm saying? Not, you know what I mean. Oh, it's plenty of marriages going on, but unlawfully. A whole bunch of unlawful marriages going on, a bunch of unlawful unions, not to mention just the idolatry, all type of shit our people are in, man. These are just signs of the times, man. This is why the Lord got to destroy this place, because the children that are coming up are completely destroyed, man. They're completely destroyed. There's no hope. It's pathetic. It's really pathetic. And to be honest, the shit is getting old. All of it. Every nation, and that includes our imperfect ass. That is why we want to get out of here. We know we imperfect. I don't like the way I goddamn look. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of looking like this, man. I need that perfection. And I know I can feel the same way. And I know Aqua feel the same way. We got to get out of here. I'm tired of looking at and I mean every last one of them got something bad about them. Let's start with Esau, motherfucking Edom. You already know he wicked. You know, do we need to talk about him? But like somebody like Elam, them, I'm tired of smelling them. I'm tired of them scamming us, selling us fake gold and shit, and you know what I mean, looking down upon us, but no, be in the hood all the time with us, but still look down upon us. Moab and Japheth, I'm sick of them. Okay, like just looking at them and the pride of them, they're very prideful and they hate us too. Ham, oh man, they hate us too. Everybody fucking hates us, man, and I'm tired of looking at them. I can't wait till the Lord, bring forth all this prophecy so we can get out of here. The children are unsalvageable. They're not cool. You don't want to hang out with these kids. You don't want to be around these children. You might have to draw down on them, or they might draw down on you. What type of world are we living in? Same thing with the woman. Used to be, you could say, walk down the street and say, hey, you say hey to Eve, she'll look at you crazy, cuss you out. I got a boyfriend. She ain't got no damn. Nobody trying to holler at you, bitch. I was just saying, hey, because you a human. Not even because you black. Not even because you a sister. Because you a human and you passed right in front of me. I've had this issue. I've had this happen plenty of times with the so-called black woman, man, with her hearty behind. But hey, going back to like the theme, I guess, of the epistle with the children. So training up a child is what we need to do in righteousness. It's not happening. Therefore, you see what's going on, man. Let's go to verse 15. Foolishness is bound in the heart of a child. And the Lord taught us this through these scriptures. When I was a child, I spake as a child. All right, that goes into anything. Idolatry, any type of low level thinking of a child. Now, when you become a man, you think like a man. And it should be a man of Yahweh Shema Shah, and that'll start with fear, and that fear is going to produce wisdom, all right, knowledge and understanding of all things, and that's from the Lord. You'll have a decent level, and the Lord will sup with you in all things. You'll know how to handle your finances, going about carrying yourself in the earth as an Israelite covertly when it's time. You'll know how to deal with women. You'll know how to deal with children. You'll know how to handle adversity. All these things the Lord teach us, but it starts with the fear. Okay, but where was I? 15. Foolishness is bound in the heart of a child, but the rod of correction shall drive it far from him. So, let's talk about us and not necessarily literal children, but the children of Yahweh Shema Shah, which we hope to be, of Yahweh, servants of Yahweh Shah. The rod of correction, going into chastisement, right? The Lord say he chastened those who he loved. And if you're not, you liken unto a bastard. I bring that up all the time. Or a bastard goes into illegitimate child. So the Lord's not your father. He's not dealing with you. He won't protect you. He won't bless you. All right. And especially during Jacob's trouble, which we're prophesying is here, man. We're just at the beginning stages of it. That's why it's important to be receptive to the rebuke. Be receptive to the correction, man. So much rebuke, like myself, man. And I I don't even get drunk a lot, but I was drinking so much, man. My damn piss. And this was after, a brother just, I don't even, just a brother that I don't even listen to a lot, man. But that's how the spirit worked. And he was angry, which is to say it was the Lord that was angry. And it was so serious about that rebuke about drinking and chilling out on that shit, man. Brothers, you get, how it is that you're young, that strong drink, it can be comforting, man. And I was just doing it so often, it just became just like routine, man, and it was fucking me up, man. And I'm shit, I ain't drunk in a minute now. I'm trying to heal up from that through the spirit of power. Y'all by Shema Shot. My piss was damn near black, and you don't even notice it because time going by fast, and you get to just sipping and falling asleep, and you know what I mean. Then you know how it goes, man. But that goes back to what I was saying, the correction. Okay, that correction shall drive that foolishness from that the heart of that child, man. So it said again, it says foolishness is bound in the heart of a child, but the rod of correction shall drive it far from him. So that's good, man. The Lord is going to correct us. He's molding us, shaping us, training us ultimately to give him glory, to give him and his son glory, man. And you're going to see the full, my favorite word, manifestation of that during Jacob's trouble. When the Lord lift up that standard, when we're persecuted, okay, all these things is going to come to pass, but Lord willing, we're chosen to give glory, and the Lord's going to deal with us a certain way, man, and we're going to be able to escape these calamities. Why? Ultimately, because we were predestined to do so, but because we listened to the Lord, we was obedient. We didn't take it as a joke. We tried. That's a huge thing. Our people are not even putting forth an effort to put down the abominable foods, man. God dang. It's okay though. It's okay. Y'all ain't gonna have no abominable foods to even eat here pretty soon via the famine. Boy, oh boy, is a spirit going out amongst the prophets right now concerning prophesying of a famine. Stand by, man. All right, this is prophecy. Matthew 24 chapter. We can. It's prophesied, man. Matthew 24, and we'll start at verse 6. All right, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. These are events preceding the Lord's second coming. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines. That's the point. All right. And pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. So all these things are going to precede the Lord's second coming, and it's going to intensify. It's going to become more frequent and, again, more intense, man. So the famine is already, shit. For a lot of people, it's a lot of food insecurity now, man. And it's only going to get worse. The report is in such a way that it don't sound like things are getting better. You hear the Babylonians complaining, the Americans complaining. Each and every day it's getting worse and worse and worse, man. I'm gonna be honest, man. I don't even notice it. The Lord done been dealing with us. We've been in our own world, man. I don't even notice it. The way that and that's one thing we have to remember, man. And that's the beauty, the mysteries of Yahweh Shema Shah in relation to his power. The Lord can bless us with perception, y'all. Like the way that we're perceiving things, you can only, I'm guarantee you that these people that are starting to get on this on camera and complain, I guarantee you they are truly going through it. Now we be complaining, but ours is always spiritual, and we always, we got Yahweh Shah. Dog. I bet these people are truly, truly, truly going through it. And I'm not talking about on some natural shit. I'm talking about a spirit that the Lord is putting upon them to have that type of fear and that type of suffering and that type of dread, and it ain't even really popped off yet. Remember what the Lord said. He will pour his spirit out upon all flesh in these last days. It ain't just the prophets, it's everybody to fulfill his will. He got to have the unalivers, the crazy people. He got to have Eve out there being a whore. That's fulfilling his will. He's going to judge you for it, because it's prophesied that our women will be whores, and eventually the Lord will do something about it. So much so, it's gonna be so crazy out here. So much so, now I haven't brought this on so long. Isaiah 4:1. In that day, it's gonna be so crazy that in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man. saying we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. And that, number 7 goes into completion. So in that day, during this great tribulation, man, it's going to be a certain number of women trying to find a man, not just, a man, period. But the thing about it, those other men that ain't of the Lord, they're not going to have anything going on but some suffering, but some looking like a woman themselves. So they'll say this about a man of the Lord: we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. So they got their own stuff, their own substance, you know what I mean? Their own, specifically the Bible is saying, their own food and their own clothes. So we don't have to feed them and we don't have to clothe them. All right. This is prophetic. Right. This is prophetic. All right. And and they do. Yeah, man. This is going to be beautiful, man. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach, man. So they're going to know what time it is in that day, the time of Jacob's trouble. Then they're going to get their act together. All right, when they see all the bullshit, and you can see Eve is weak as hell. She's a pretender, and the only reason that she's been so fucking wicked is because she had liberty to do so. That's why you see some of them, but it's going to be all of them pretty soon, trying to backpedal, talking about some soft girl era. That's that old slick ass talk from the wickedness of a woman, the depths thereof. Oh, soft girl era. You mean, why don't you just say we was tripping? We would have so much more respect for you, ladies, if y'all just say, look, man. Cause like that was kind of what we are. Look, man, we ain't perfect. We messed up. That's what ultimately, that's what we do towards Yahweh Shema Hawashah. And we do it by repenting, doing these epistles, going out on the highways and byways, and keeping, ultimately for all of us, keeping the law. All right, keeping the law. That's how we show the Lord, hey, we sorry. That's what Eve need to be doing instead of all the faking and fronting, because it ain't working. They running and running and running. Where? Into a burning fucking building that is Babylon the Great. They're still trying to cleave onto this man. The Lord is study showing that everybody's wicked in this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? The white man, so-called Eve, he breaking up all that and exposing all of it. All right, but we're just the messengers, man. All right, and all these things are going to come to pass. Let's go to the book of Psalms in relation to the children again, but the Lord's children. Psalms, first and foremost. Psalms 127, way out there. In verse 3, lo, children are an heritage of the Lord Yahweh, and the fruit of the womb is his reward. So it's important, man. The scripture is telling us, lo, children are an heritage, man. And so this is about that heritage, legacy. We pray to be a hopeful elect that had, going back to Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Daniel, King David, Yahweh Shai, ultimately. All right, going back to that heritage, that lineage, man, this legacy of ours, man. So we desire to be those children of the Lord who will maintain that heritage of, ultimately, let's keep it real. Once we make it through the hard part, that heritage is this dealing with from Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, whatever that is. We're talking miracles, we're talking blessings, situations, beauty, whatever it is that the Lord can bless you with. That is, in fact, our heritage. All right. And the King Malak Yahweh Shah has taught us how to obtain this through him. All right. If you love him, feed his sheep. If you love him, keep his commandments. Where's the gray area? For you Israelites that want to buck up against that, it's so simple. The Lord said his laws weren't grievous. What's wrong with you guys? Oh, the Lord not a man that he shall lie. And he did say that everybody wasn't going to make it. Because there's a whole bunch of people still saying that everybody of every nation, long as you say a prayer, say a phrase, you're good to go. Give me that good thumbs up, right? Say this praise and you'll be saved. We'll see how that works out for you. We don't know if we're going to be saved, but we do have a more sure word of prophecy. And truth be told, we'll see in that day. If you were right, maybe you are right. But we believe in this, you believe in that. So let's see. Time will tell, won't it? If you are going to be saved, man, from saying that phrase and doing whatever you want to do on the earth, but just say that. Let's see. Okay. Let's go to the book of Proverbs. And just keep this on the children, man. Proverbs because these children are out of freaking control, man. And it's actually sad. It's sad, but it ain't sad to the point where we finna let it throw us off, because we know this is all prophetic, right? This is all a historical account of cause and effect. All right, Yahweh Shemal Shah and the wicked ass Israelites, and this is what happened. Now we got our young men, our little young men, just ugly as hell. You know, ain't got no dental plan. You know what I'm saying? Eating fried bologna sandwiches, cut up hot dogs, but got them water guns though. Got them guns though. You know what I'm saying? It's just old, man. It's old. I pray Yahweh Shemal Shah deliver us ASAP, right? Proverbs 29:17. Correct thy son, and he shall give thee rest. So, man, that's just like us. Like, let's start up with us, man. Hey, if the Lord correct us, we stress him out a lot less. Not saying that the Lord could be stressed, but we don't offend him, right? And then we got to go through this process of repenting, you know, starting with, I don't want to go back there, but then we have to go through this process of repenting, and you know what I mean? If we just do right, hey, man, the Lord is pleased with us, man. Okay, he be pleased with us, but also in like a physical sense, a carnal level, dealing with our children, same thing, man. If we correct our children and instruct them in decency and righteousness, you know, Lord willing, if the Lord's, you know, they won't turn out so bad. They're gonna get into shit just like we got into shit, and we pray to be of the hopeful elect, and we're putting on as such, but still got into plenty of shit. Okay, they're gonna get into shit, but ultimately, Lord willing, they won't. Start with your daughter won't give you shame by being a whore. Your son won't become an unaliver out there, you know, doing all type of crazy shit, or he won't bring you shame by acting like a female. If you instruct in righteousness your son, if the Lord don't give him over to that. Cause look at, what's that tall dude named Magic Johnson, his son. I'm sure you brothers know Magic Johnson's son is a funny boy. And I don't know. I don't think Magic a funny boy. So you see, you can be a masculine male NBA player and still turn out messed up. So it's just really, ultimately, it's just the will of the Lord. But us, we have attained, you know, the wisdom through these scriptures, so we utilize them. So we are gonna say, if our child does do something wrong, we're gonna correct them. We're not just gonna let you do something. You are gonna have a curfew, or you're not gonna be on this cell phone all day, or we're gonna monitor these things. That's not what's going on with a lot of these households, especially with these women, because they're being headed by the women. And truth be told, here's mercy for you bitches. Like, it's hard, ain't it, shawty? Nobody said it was easy. That's why the Lord told us, like, not to be alone, goofball. Why are y'all boasting in that? It's hard. And so much so, I got a bunch of shit queued up, man, for some next epistles going into just, you know, Eve and all this unaliving that's going on. A lot of so-called black women have unalived their children. And ultimately, it's because they got spirits on them. They're wicked, and the Lord wanted it to be so. That's that's double judgment on that child and that woman. But ultimately, it's because Eve is weak, and she's trying to do a double duty. I mean, she's trying to run these households in our captivity, and it's shown to not work. I don't care if you are successful, if your son or your child is successful and you are a single mother. If you ain't serving y'all by Shimmer Hawashai, whatever the fuck y'all got going on is gonna come to naught. I don't care if you're a single mother from Jacksonville, Florida, and your little son got wicks and he can be a running back real good, and he did that and he went to the NFL. If he ain't serving y'all by Shimmer Hawashai, it's going to come to naught, and he shall be called the least in the motherfucking kingdom. He should be called the least in the kingdom, man. Straight up. So we have to remember that. Meditate on these things and act accordingly. Because this shit is corny, man. It's corny. See here. Deuteronomy 6:6. And these words which I command thee this day shall be in thine heart. Yep, so these law, statutes, and commandments should be in our heart. And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way. For you brothers that do have children, I mean, you know, be tactful, move through the spirit, but your children should see an example of a man that fear the Lord upon you. Meaning, your child shouldn't probably see you smoking, right? That's not something that we do. A lot of fucking Israelites of our fucking nation smoke with their fucking children, and they ain't talking about cigarettes. They allow it and also smoke with them. That ain't right. That's not what we do. We lead by example, or else we will be hypocritical or actual hypocrite, right? And it says, and shall talk of them when thou sittest in thy house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. So basically, just this goes into just staying in the spirit, man. And if you do have children, your children should see that. All right, be circumspect, because your child might turn their back on you too. Hey, that's prophecy. That's prophetic. A man foe shall be there of his own house, you know. But give the Lord the benefit of the doubt when it comes to the family he gave you. You know, Lord willing, your family is going to be with you. You know what I mean? And you teach your children these things. However much the Lord wants you to teach, man. I ain't saying we're just, I don't know. You never know, man. I don't know. I don't have a son, so, but definitely, ultimately, leading by example. Okay, not doing a bunch of bullshit in the house, man. Letting your child see that you're different, you're set apart. Hey, we don't eat these. Oh, that's a prime great example of that. Yes, and that goes into teaching your children and training them up. The dietary law, teaching them not to eat this and exactly why. And that is something that your child will understand at a very because I was losing it. That's something that your child will remember all their lives, and they will understand it at a very young age. Hey, we're not going to eat this type of animal because the Lord created this type of animal to cleanse the earth. This type of animal eats roadkill, so we don't eat it. This type of animal eats the poop in the sea, so we don't eat it. Your child will learn it. Now, you know what I'm saying? It'll be like, we ain't saying like, I mean, if your child can receive it, he can receive it. But, I ain't trying to go too deep what I'm saying, teaching our children everything. But, slowly but surely through the spirit of Pav Yahweh Shema Shai, we lead by example, contrary to what the 2/3 do. And again, just think about us before we came into this truth. We knew none of this. Or we've heard, these, but it wasn't given this to us the correct way. All right, let's see what we got. Oh yeah, this is good for us. So it's about literal children, but ultimately the spiritual children of Yahweh Hashem and Hawashai, man. That remnant of the nation of Israel, predestined. Matthew 18, and we'll start at 2. And Yahweh, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus, called a little child unto him and set him in the midst of them, and said, Verily I say unto you, except ye be converted, changed, and become as little children, humble, ye shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven. Ooh, that's cold, man. The Lord is telling us to be humble like a child, like they just got on the earth learning. Hey, the scriptures go into that, desiring the sincere milk of the scriptures, man. That's how we are taught. Precept must be upon precept, line upon line. We start with the milk of the scriptures, meaning we don't just hop in the middle of the book. We don't just hop into deep prophetic things and deep prophecy. You got to really start at Genesis to understand the creation. If you don't know the historical account of Jacob and Esau being born and the significance thereof, man, and all the symbolism the Lord had in the midst of that with the heel and the heel grab and the telling us how Esau is a man of the field, you'll be lost now. You're absolutely lost. You have no idea. You can't connect the dots because you weren't brought up the right way via the milk, via being as a little child, like little children, man. Verse 4, whosoever therefore shall humble himself as this little child, the same is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. Thus the spirit, I was talking about that God being the least in the kingdom, man. If we take the low, wait on the Lord, he is going to give us fame, beyond our wildest imaginations, man. Look at Malachi Hawashah. Let him be the perfect example. He now sits at the right hand side of the Father. If that don't mean nothing to people that don't fear Yahweh Shema Shah, we understand what it means, and not even the full majesty thereof. But we come in the fear of believing how powerful and how much glory the King holds now for completing that mission and being obedient to the Father Yahweh. All praises to Yahweh Hashem and Hawashah. So we have to be humble, man, as that little child, and we'll be great. The last shall be first, the first shall be last. All these Israel, man, I'm still waiting. Maybe maybe this weekend, I don't know. I still want to do that mock 144,000 because that's what I believe. All these celebrities of our nation that's supposed to be in captivity, that the Lord gave stature, beauty, fame, fortune to, experiences. This has to be a mock 144,000, the talents thereof. All right. Let's look at some of the more elites. All right. Your Vince Carters, your MJs, your Kobe's, your Michael Jacksons, your Mike Tysons, the talent thereof. Right. And the fame, this has, because the Lord deal with spiritual power and things. I believe that the Lord set up one reason. Now, just one, is multiple reasons, but we set up all our people to get, because we're in our fucking captivity, right? Who the hell are you to be rich? You should be suffering, working. We're in captivity. All right, we're in the latter end of it, but I think the Lord set them up to mock us as the true hopeful 144,000, that hopeful elect. He let all these people throughout these generations just stun on us, and because we're in our captivity, here we are damn near poor as the prophets, man. But we strong in the spirit. Niggas in Lambos and shit, man. Come on, come on. Especially the Steph Curry, the Lord mock. That's part. Just like the Lord said, a woman shall compass a man. It's all a part of our punishment, starting with the sons, man. That's the order. Yahweh Shah, the Israelite man, the Israelite woman, the Israelite children. Because we disobeyed as the men, it was given to us to keep this thing alive, keep it going. We blew it. The Lord let all type of chaos. That's why the women like the 2/3 niggas. They don't like us. The Lord gave them over to each other. They like the way they look. They look a certain way. We don't. They got certain things that we don't. Now, we probably had that shit when we was in the world. But we've since, relinquished that shit through the spirit of power of Yahweh Hashem Hawashah and traded in for a kingdom. What is it? Sunrise for a sunset, or a sunset for a sunrise? One of them. That's what we did. I mean, sunset for a sunrise. Because this shit going down. It's finna get real dark. But yeah, man. It's just the spirit. Let's see. Oh, man. Okay. Oh yeah, it was about the little children, and the humility thereof. Yeah. So yeah, coming into this thing, man, be humble. Don't be like the rest of those Israelite camps and being puffed up. Just let it be natural, man. And for the hopeful elect, it will be a natural process to salvation, because it's predestined. Those individuals, those spirits were predestined to receive salvation, and that's contrary to popular belief, man. Okay. Let's go to Philippians. Again, talking about, or that Philemon. That's probably Philippians. We're talking about actual children, but also the spiritual children, which is us, Yahweh Hashem and Hawashah. Philippians 4:19. But my God, my power, Yahweh Shema Shah, shall supply all your need according to his riches and glory in Hamashiach Yahweh Shah. That's a good precept to remember, man, whatever we may need if we do have children. Look, we're getting ready to come into a time like the earth has never seen before. Brothers have children, and even us, man, we're going to need things. All right. If we trust in Yahweh Hashem and Hawashah, the scriptures say all your needs according to his riches. All right. And we know Malachi Hawashah, he got all the riches, man. So all we got to do is listen to the king, listen to the shepherd, obey, fear what Malachi Hawashah, reverence Malachi Hawashah like these clowns don't. Okay, and he has an abundance of riches, and some of those riches can be bestowed upon you now. Okay, if you do, if you fulfill his will, if you got treasure stored up in heaven and you need to make a spiritual withdrawal, guess what, man? Yahweh Shai got that. All you got to do is do right, man. Be obedient. And if you do F up, hey, acknowledge that and don't let it weigh you down. That's a gift that the Lord's hopeful elect have. That's faith that, you know what, I ain't perfect. I messed up, but I ain't gonna fall like that again. But I did fall, but I'm gonna get back up. I'm a fighter. That's what the Lord looking for, not perfection. And when it comes time for us to give him that glory, he's going to give us the same spirit that he put on Malak Yahweh Shah. Okay, there's going to be spiritual things that every brother going to go through that night. Yeah, that night before that, you know what I'm talking about. We're going to have our night, gentlemen. You know what I mean? Before that last day. And we meditating on that, man. We would love that. Through the spirit of power, Yahweh Shema Shai. This nigga Esau Edom got us fucked up when it comes to talking about some persecution and unalapping. We can't wait. I'd rather just get to that point, man. Save us, spare us all that going to trial shit. You know what I mean? All that long, because you know how it is, but it'll probably be quick in that day. Let's say if Yahweh Shema Shai to cut time short, this ain't gonna be no long ass trial where we got, it's gonna be probably a day. You know what I mean? Probably be on trial day. Oh, okay, boom, guillotine, whatever it is. You know what I mean? But we'll be ready for that because we were trained up by who? Ultimately, Malak Yahweh Shah under the training of Yahweh, man. Malak Yahweh Shah taught us these things, man. And we're likened unto children that's learning, from the Father through his only begotten Son, Malak Yahweh Shah. Therefore, we have access to all these riches that I was just speaking about in Philippians here. All right, Malak Yahweh Shah is rich, stinking rich, man. And I just want to just straight up, I won't say stinking rich, beautifully rich, man. Like, we have no idea. I ain't talking about that earthly stuff, but if we want to, you can't put a number on it. And that's a part of his reward. Follow. Remember, the Lord said he got plenty to give. His reward is with him. All right. And his house, in his father's house, are many mansions. I got into it when I first came to the truth with my father, trying to get him to not put the Lord in a box, thinking that those mansions are necessarily referring to the type of mansions that we see upon the earth. I asked him, do you this is what this? I'm like, man, don't men have mansions now in multiple? It's not that impressive, right? So we believe those mansions going into the galaxies, the planets, and we don't even know what's up there. Esau don't know what's up out in that sky. Esau Edom don't know what's in the depths of them woods, and Esau Edom don't know what's in the bottom of that ocean. He can front and lie like he does. But all these things is going to be revealed unto the hopeful elect. We're going to see all those creatures in the bottom of the ocean. Oh, man, man. What a brother in California was going into a dream or vision he had about like seeing in the bottom of the ocean, where there's no light. Let the world tell it. That has never hit, some of these places under the ocean. Absolutely. You know what I mean? But he was like in this vision that he saw in this part of the ocean that the light never. I don't know how what what I mean, but he was down there. But he was saying, man, all the fish had lights on it, and they was beautiful. Like there was like all type of tropical color fit. So, bro, don't put up, man. All these, man, meditate on the mysteries, man. And I mean that you have to go back to being like a child when we used to play in the dirt. Looking at roly-polies, playing with insects, and admiring the peculiarness and the beauty thereof. We are so far from being natural, it ain't even funny. If you in the country, you a little bit better, but don't let you be up in some damn New York City. You know what I mean? I'm talking about in the heart of it too. Harlem in this concrete jungle. Oh man, you can't breathe. Ain't no, there's plenty of rats and shit like that. But beautiful creatures and stuff. We don't see none of that. We're so far from our natural state. Look at what they're feeding us, man. All artificial poison. Look at what we're inhaling via the shit they're spraying, man. It's just we're being poisoned inside out. Therefore, we got to get the hell out of here. Therefore, we push this prophecy. Therefore, we teach our people these things, man. And it was just a spirit trying to stay in the spirit, man. Pushing, staying on fire, because it's that time. And pretty soon we're not going to be able to work. So while we still have liberty to do so, we want to edify, we want to pray, we want to fast as much as possible, because guess what? We're going to miss this. We're going to miss each other. And during Jacob's trouble, when we not just kind of chilling at home doing these epistles, man. You know, there was a different spirit a couple years ago. It was even more kind of like fun, and brothers would get together, drink, and do epistles and things like that. It has gotten way, way more serious now, hasn't it? And eventually the famine of the word is going to come, and we won't have this comfort. This is comforting, isn't it? We get fed all day to the point we obese. You know what I mean? Spiritually, the Lord has his prophets and teachers on 24/7. You can, you know what I mean? You could get a new epistle anytime, any day, any part of the day, man, from the prophets of Yahweh Shema Shah. Try it. You know what I mean? Try it. Guarantee you, man, you can get an epistle, man, any time of the day via the prophets fulfilling on the will of the Lord. So that's prophetic signs of the times, man. And Lord willing, during Jacob's trouble, the Lord will be with us, and he will remember us like children, because we were brought up the right way, not like those children that we saw, bringing it all back full circle, right? We were brought up the right way, predestined, the good children. We're witnessing the bad right here.
What's up?
We gonna pop their ass. We gonna pop their ass.
What y'all gonna
After
do?
a while, gonna pop their ass. We want some milk to their ass. We got ox right here. Nah, we got real ox. We got outrons here.
Y'all got.
He can barely speak. But you know, and that guy right there is a goofball as well with those glasses. But with that, I pray that this was edifying, man. Hey, we gotta be likened unto children, man. And if we be likened unto children, hey, the Lord will bless us beyond our wildest imagination, man. Yahweh Shema Shah got it. And we want to be a part of that legacy, that heritage, that family. And how do we do that? Fear of the Lord, not being like them. Shit, if you got to be ugly, man. The Lord gonna give you your beauty back, man. Don't crash out because you're not perfect looking or the image of perfection like these people. Fuck it. Don't give her nothing about being ugly, fat, whatever, broke, whatever. Whatever it is that may have Jake throwed off, man, because of how vain this world is, especially talking about Eve, man. Just let it go. Easier said than done. But if you know even a portion, if you can meditate on even a portion of the reward thereof, it ought to be enough to keep you going. We're all going to have our darkest hours, sure. And we'll deal with that accordingly when we get there. But for right now, man, keep pushing, man. So with that, I want to give all praises, honor, glory, and fear to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. Shalom.